Hey, welcome C4 guys in particular, and those in particular with a latch problem trying to open up your hood. You've got the latch hanging there, but it's just slack and nothing's working. That's what happened to me. Uh, don't know why. I had disconnected my battery, to do some work on my weather stripping on my hatch. And I didn't want, my lights on, so I disconnected the battery and closed the hood. Okay, and then I screwed around, all afternoon putting the weather stripping and cleaning out the hatch and all that. So I spent the whole day on my weather stripping to find out at the end of the project it was starting to get dark a little bit and a little bit cold. Couldn't close the damn hood, or I couldn't close the hatch. It was just like the weather stripping was getting hard and I couldn't. So I took the struts off, laid the hatch down and put my cover on it and got up the next day, reconnected the struts, lifted up the glass and just sort of kind of let the sun get to the weather stripping. And then, a few hours later, I was able to finally get it pushed down. So it took me the whole day to try to get my damn hatch down. And now it's taken me a whole day to get my hood up. It's just whatever. It's just what it is. I've been Googling stuff on this for C4s and, with, guys, trying various things like putting, pliers or whatever on these cables, trying to yank them. I would recommend that. I don't know even if that's the same problem is what I'm having. It's just that this was completely slack. The handle was completely slack and there was just nothing there. So I ended up, taking all the panels off, as you can see, and I come across this. Now, underneath here, well, first of all, let me just turn this around underneath. Explain. These are two little pricks, okay, that stick out and they fit into two metal slots on the bottom, and there's one screw hole right there, which is impossible to get up. So I've actually put just a tab of glue on this so I can screw the damn thing up, because it's impossible to get that screw up. There's just no way. And even to get this thing together, it's just a real pain in the ass, but I'll try and explain it the best I can. You see that little silver ball right there, okay, attached to the wire. Well, there's a little slot there that it's like a clutch cable, right? Goes in there and then it bends around, and there's of course one on the other side. Okay, I'm not sure if I can, yeah, there it is, and there's the slot. Now they attach to these two rubber housing that's on top of here. You see this rubber housing, it connects or it goes through there. And now the end of this rubber housing, they have little slots, and you can sort of see they fit in the bracket, sort of kind of like, you can sort of see there's a little slot in the side there, wherever it is, these little slots right there. Okay, those they snap in there. No, well, they don't snap in there. They just, that's where they go. Now you can see the hole back there for the screw. Now here's where the big problem is this metal bracket, which supports these two hoses to the pulley, or to the clamp. That is the biggest pain in the ass of all, and so key to this repair. So make sure when you unscrew it, when you get the handle off, that you don't lose this part, because if you lose that part, it's all over. So what I did is, because it's impossible to get the hoses into those two little slots right there, put this clamp on top, press it into place, turn it upside down like this, put it against the plate I'll show you in a second, then just grab a screwdriver and casually screw it back on. And it's just never going to happen. You need some kind of help. Okay, you need aid for sure, or at least I do. So what I did is, once I figured out what the issue was, I started using just little plastic ties. And when I sort of got it sort of close into position, I would tie it up, and then I would muscle with it a little bit more, try to get it in position, especially this little doohickey here, this metal support. And then I put another tie on, and then I'd cut the previous tie off, and I kept messing around. I went through about 7 ties to actually get this into the proper position to where it's actually supposed to go. Okay, and when I was doing that, I had the screw going up from the bottom to try and help support this clamp, because that clamp is, when you turn it around, that's what gets screwed underneath the dash, and that's what holds it in place. I don't want to get this too much out of alignment here while I'm trying to show this, but underneath here, if I can sort of find it again, there is, where the heck is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay, there's a flat plate that's right there. Now there's the two little slots, okay, that those pricks go into, and then at the very back right here, that is the hole. Okay, and this gets mounted up this way. If you can sort of see that, that gets mounted, pushed up against that bracket, and those little slots, they fit in that panel, and then you put your screw in. You kind of just like push it up forward, and then put the screw inside there to support it all. Now that is an issue. I can tell you that is taking me all afternoon to screw around and try to find, because like there are videos, you know, the odd video anyway with this type of thing, but you know, guys are talking about putting vice grips on these cables and stuff like that. And the problem with me is that the cables, the black housing cables, the big rubber housing cables, were off. So I don't know how they came off or what the deal was. That's why it was loose. So I was able to, you know, just hold the black cable and pull the silver one, and I could get my hood open finally after, you know, fucking around trying to, you know, I was messing around trying to use a clothes hanger, because there's tools, you know, the guys make a specific kind of an item to do that, and of course guys with their emergency hatch pull switch and things like that. But anyway, I hope this is going to kind of help you out and give you some sort of idea, and then once it's back into place, I'm gonna mess with it right now, and then I'm gonna use my screw that is attached to my screwdriver, because like I say, a guy like me needs lots of aid. So good luck, C4 guys. Get your hood open.